Eliana, how late are you going to be out tonight? You hurry back to this house right now and start making me something to eat. Because you've been out of the house all day, my stomach has been in pain waiting for you to come back and cook. You really are the most useless woman ever, if you're willing to let an older woman starve because you want to be out of the house all the time. I've been acting like your parent this whole time, so come home and show me the respect I deserve. I'm starving.
I'm sorry, Isla. But I'm at the hospital right now, though. I have had to stay here a bit longer than I was expecting, so I won't be home until late tonight. Could you please make something for yourself?
Huh? The hospital? Why are you of all people at the hospital right now?
You're asking me why I'm here? Because just a little while ago, you came at me with a boiling hot cup of tea and threw it on my face. And because of that, my right eye has had a really hard time staying open due to the swelling. The doctor has already had a look at it and said it might be very difficult for me to see out of my right eye for a while after today.
And what does that have to do with me?
What?
I don't care about any of that. Now you get your butt home right now and start making me dinner. You are so stupid. Who do you think you are going to the hospital like that without my permission first anyway? I don't ever remember saying I was okay with you leaving this house. Now you get back here. Now!
I'm sorry, Isla. While texting you, I was asked by the doctor to go with him and have some more exams done on me. He has done everything he can and gave me some medication and wraps to use to help my face and eye. I'm sorry.
It's about time. Making me wait for an hour for a response like that. I can't believe you did all of that without telling me. You really are nothing but trouble, Eliana.
I'm sorry for leaving the house without your permission, but Isla, why did you come out of nowhere with scalding hot tea and throw it at my face? Tell me, what did I end up doing wrong that required you to do such a thing to me?
You're asking me? Eliana, I threw that tea at your face because you said you were going to that wedding.
What?
You were going on about it being your little sister's wedding or something like that. But that would mean you'd leave this house, you daft idiot. That's why I had to discipline you. You deserve to have your face burned and right eye screwed up.
You can't be serious. That is my sister, my one and only sister, and one of the last members of my family. That's why I wanted to go to her wedding.
Shut your mouth right now. I will not take that kind of talk from a complete stranger like you. I will have you thrown out of this house if you think you can slack off from your chores to be at your little sister's wedding. Now, if you still have any plans to go there, then go right ahead. But you will not be coming back to this house.
Understood. I'm sorry.
Don't you ever show me that kind of poor behavior ever again.
Kate, there's something I'm kind of wanting to ask you right now.
Oh, Eliana. Why are you texting me this late at night?
This has to do with your wedding tomorrow, actually. At the moment, I have a lot of bandaging around my face, covering my right eye. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people asking questions about me, and I might be taking their attention away from you, but would it still be okay for me to attend?
What? Your face is all bandaged up. What happened to you, Eliana? Did you get into a serious accident or something?
I really don't think I could call it an accident, but...
You're lying about that, right? There's no way. That's completely messed up. Nothing about that is normal for someone in your shoes to have to go through. Eliana, how are you normally being treated over at that household?
How am I normally being treated? I like to think this is how things are for me every day.
Are you kidding? So, you're telling me things like sustaining second and third degree burns on your face due to your mother-in-law is a common occurrence there?
Well, I'm sure what happens here isn't right. right. Actually, this was the first time I'd been hurt this badly by her. Normally, she'd just be pushing me down the stairs or throwing away my cooking and making me start again. There have also been times where she'd lock me in my room for a day or two.
She would lock you in your room for a day or two? None of that is anywhere close to normal, and it's outright dangerous. That is all absolutely screwed up, what you're having to go through. Nothing about that is normal. And what happened to your husband? He's living there with you as well, right? Has he not been saying anything to his mom about how she's treating you?
All he says to me is that things were a lot worse for him when he was younger, so I'm actually being treated pretty nicely by her.
Huh?
Well, I was always a little bit spoiled when I was younger, right? And that can be seen by how useless I am now, right? Well, my mother-in-law has stepped in for Mom and Dad and has been raising me the right way by disciplining me.
Oh, wait a second. Are you actually being serious right now, Eliana?
Yes. I'm actually really thankful for what my mother-in-law has done for me. However, she told me that if I go to your wedding tomorrow, she would have me exiled from her house and that I'd never be able to go back there. That's left me feeling a little bit confused now. What should I do now? I'm not feeling good about either choice I have. I can't believe that someone as kind as her would say that she'd have me exiled from her house like that.
Eliana, put yourself together, please.
What?
Look, you and I, for the longest time now, we've both been raised with very different views of things from everyone else, right? I mean, Mom and Dad both beat us a lot when we were younger. And that's why we feel like we were always the bad children, and they were perfectly good parents. We never had the luxury of having loving parents. And we're told that all of our family members outside the house were fake, and just trying to tempt us away from them, right?
Well, they were, and that's why Mom and Dad never let us meet with any of them, because they were too kind.
Well, that was all wrong.
What do you mean?
My husband, when he learned about how much hell I'd been going through at home, he made sure to show me what a true loving family was. Him and his parents both gave me the warmth that my body had been needing from a family all my life. Right now I'm living with my husband's parents, right? Well, they have both done all they could to show me what having real, caring parents is like. And I thank them every day for that. When I come home to them, I scream out that I'm home and they greet me with hugs and kisses. That's the way normal families should be.
There's no way. That can't be true, right?
I'm sure. That's what you want to think, right? All right, I get it. At the moment, you don't want to go home to your family, right?
Not really. Actually, I don't think I can because of what my mother-in-law said.
Then you come to our house. I just spoke with my mother-in-law and she said it was totally okay for you to come here and stay the night with us. She said she'd even get the bath all warmed up and ready. Although, you might now want to go in if your face is burned.
What?
You're still out and not near your in-laws, right? If you tell me where you're at, I can ask my father-in-law to drive us out to come get you. So please, tell me, Eliana.
How long have you been out of this house now without coming back? It's because you've been gone for so long now that the house is a mess. I'll forgive you for not coming home at all and making me my morning early breakfast. If you come home right now, you idiot woman.
I'm no longer going back to that house.
Huh? Do you have any idea what you're saying right now?
Today, I'll be at my little sister's wedding. Here, I'll be meeting with my real family and enjoying their presence. I even stayed with some of them last night, and that's where I learned what a true family is and how horrible things have been in that toxic environment you call your home.
What are you going on about? I am not here to listen to you go on about your delusions. So get home and start doing the chores right now.
I'm not going back. And since I'm a complete stranger, like you said, there's nothing I'm attached to there anymore.
Huh?
A while back, you threatened to have your son divorce me and even went out to get all the divorce papers filled out and ready to hand into the courthouse, right? Well, I took those from you after that day and have been holding on to them ever since. And just a little bit ago, I went and dropped them off at the courthouse before making my way to this wedding. So I am no longer a part of your family, fair and square.
What did you say?
I no longer am your son's wife, which means that you and I are now legally strangers to one another. I may have spent years taking loads of crap from you guys in that house, but I finally had enough of it last night and will no longer call myself your family. From now on, I'd like for you all to rot in hell there. I'm going to make sure that all those years of pain and torture you all put me through is thrown right back at you.
It's freaking pathetic watching you say things that don't make any sense at all to me. Did you seriously get a divorce from my son? I don't remember ever saying that you leaving my son was okay. I will not let you get away with doing something so selfish as that. Since I've been asking for you to come home all week, you haven't made even a single attempt to. I'm having all your things thrown out of your room right now. All of these lovely photos of you and your little sister together will all be thrown into the trash out back and burned up later. Is that really okay with you, Eliana? I'm sure that would break your heart, wouldn't it? Since you're now aware of what I'm willing to do, get your butt back to this house right now. If not, this is enough to make you understand just how much of a screw-up you've been. Then I'll have to take even more drastic measures.
Go ahead. If you want to toss all my things, be my guest.
Huh? Do you have any idea what I'm saying? These are not just empty threats coming from me.
I don't really care, honestly. It's not like I ever had much to begin with. Also, there are no photos of me and my little sister over at your house.
What?
My family wasn't the best when I was growing up anyway, so I never had many photos of my sister and I taken when we were together. I'm sure the only reason that you're trying to make threats like that towards me now is because you guys are in dire need of a working drone again, right? Well, I'm not going back to that life.
Just get your ass back here right now. The inside of this house is a dang mess, and I will not let it stay this way any longer.
Then how about you get back to it and clean your house up yourself? On another note, the bank will be asking you guys to pay off the rest of the loan here soon, so please do what you can to pay it off.
Huh? A loan? What the hell are you going on about now?
Both that house you all have been living in and that car you guys have been using were bought with loans, right? And my husband had been forcing me to pay off both those loans by myself. He told me that since I was the one working, I should be the one to pay things off in the house.
And that makes total sense to me. Since you were going to continue working after marrying my son, then you should be putting all that money into the house and family.
Yes, and I totally agree with that. Hence why I would put the $2,500 I made each month into the house. Yet that wasn't even enough, so I had to start using up my savings and putting in another $500 every month, making a total of $3,000. But now that I'm a complete stranger to all of you, there's no reason for me to be paying anymore, right? I want for you guys who are still living there and who are still using that car to pay instead of me.
Every month you were putting $3,000 into this house? There's no way we can cover that every month for you. I want to know why you were even having to pay that much. Are you trying to lie to me now in order to make yourself look good?
No, I think you've just forgotten is all. After you went and had the inside of the house completely remodeled and then all brand new furniture placed inside, the price of things went way up. And then you said when getting a new car that you wanted the most expensive SUV they had on the lot, which only made us have to get a bigger loan. Neither the house or that car are mine though, so there's literally no reason for me to have to pay for them anymore. If you're not going to be able to pay off the rest of those loans, then sell the house and the car. That will be your worst case scenario, I'm sure.
I am not screwing around right now. Why do we have to do all of that now? We are not paying for any of this. You are going to be paying for the rest of this house and car whether you like it or not. Eliana, why are you being such a child about all of this? Stop being such an embarrassment and come here, right now, to help us.
Good morning, Isla. And what could you be going on about today?
Don't you play dumb with me. I just got a call from the police explaining to me that I am a suspect in a crime and need to follow up with them. All I did was discipline you, all right? I I can't believe that someone your age isn't aware of the most basic things, and I feel so bad for you because of that.
Ah, so that's what you're upset about. Well, that was me who informed the police about what happened.
Well, you tell those police to leave me alone, and then come back here and pay up. You're screwed in the head if you think that I'm a criminal.
Actually, the reason I think you're a criminal is because you are one. And so I had to tell the police about what you'd done.
Huh?
Even if it wasn't as bad as I first thought, you still assaulted me. There have also been cases of abuse within your house, both verbally and physically. Had I not told the police, then I would have never been able to live with the things that have happened to me. Of course, before I was able to live with what you'd done to me because I thought that was all normal. But now I'm very much aware of what happened to me was anything but. So now I'm going to make sure your crimes are handled in a professional and legal way.
You hold it right there. I have not done any of those things to you. Stop trying to frame me for something I haven't done.
Actually, you've done plenty of terrible things to me now, and that's why the police are taking all of this very seriously. All because you seem to think that me working a full-time job wasn't enough, and that I had to be home to take care of all the house as well for you. Then there were times you'd run your mouth about how terrible my cooking was and toss it all. Do you have any idea how much food you've wasted? I put in so much work making food for you and everyone else, yet there were times you wouldn't even try it, instead calling it disgusting before throwing it all away.
It's your fault for making such tasteless food for a household of classy eaters. Honestly, I just thought you were always trying to make food for us with leftovers. You can't call what I did a crime when it was only natural of me to do.
You really think I'm complaining about that alone?
Excuse me?
All those days you'd have guests over, I had to be the one to prepare everything. And if there was ever anything wrong, even if it was the slightest mistake regarding those preparations, you'd start to hit me in the back with a broom close to 100 times. Then there were the days you wouldn't let me eat anything while locking me in a room. Sometimes that would be for a few hours and other times a few days. There were plenty of times I thought I was going to die in that house. But I had no idea what a good family was and thought the way I was being treated was normal at the time. I always thought there was something wrong with me because my parents spoiled me with the idea that everything was my fault.
And you're right to think that because how you've been treated is normal. I've now had to take on the responsibility of disciplining a useless and dumb woman. And that means you have no right to be complaining about any of it.
But the thing is, your house has been anything but normal. When I told my little sisters-in-law all about what's happened there, they were all up in arms. And do you want to know what my sister's husband said? She said that the fact my own husband wouldn't even step in to protect me from you shows that he's messed up as well. He told me that my husband most likely didn't even love me. My sister's husband was furious to learn about what happened. And because of that, I finally realized that my husband wasn't meant for me. Having a family of people who have had nothing to do with me worrying so much finally opened my eyes to what the problems were. Everything that you guys have been doing to me was all criminal and has been dealt with.
What the actual hell is this? I have no idea what's going on. You've been brainwashed by those fools. Brainwashed! You've just been lied to by a family of heathens, and now you're having those strange delusions about what a family should really be.
Don't call my sister and her family heathens.
What?
They gave me a place to stay when I was worried about going back home to you. And they all listened to me and my concerns when I was about to break down and cry. They were all strangers to me who I had never even met before. Yet they were all worried about me and asked me over and over about what happened. This was the first time in my life where I had people around me who showed that they were really upset about what happened and wanted me to feel loved.
I can worry about you too. That's the whole reason I've started to message you like this in the first place.
The only thing you're worried about right now is the fact that you no longer have a slave in the house, right? I have finally been given the gift of love from a group of strangers and will no longer be going back to the place where I was abused. And until you all have paid for the pain you brought me, I am not ending my talks with the police. I'm not some doll that you all can get away with beating up now.
Huh? Don't you talk back to me like that. especially when you're the most useless and stupid woman to ever walk this earth.
Say whatever you'd like about me, but I am never going to feel scared and saddened about the things you say to me anymore. I'm going to make sure that in order to save everyone else from having to suffer through your guys' hell, that you are all crushed and can no longer get up.
If you think you can do anything to us, then show me. The most a weakling like yourself could possibly do to us is make us laugh. I'll show you, though. I'll make you regret ever baring your teeth like that to me. Hey, stop acting like a child and respond to me right now. What happened to all that power you had yesterday? You've always acted like a coward, so I'm sure there's no more fight left within you now. But I've had enough from you, so be ready for the beating of a lifetime. I'll make sure to discipline you with every bit of my body, so that you will never, ever talk back to me ever again.
Hello. Sorry for using my older sister's phone. I am her little sister, Kate. My sister has had to spend years dealing with abusers and is now sound asleep, finally getting some good sleep at this house. That's why I'll be talking with you right now and letting her sleep in this morning.
Huh? So you're going to be taking her place talking to me then, huh? You have the same blood as that useless woman, so I'm sure you're just as pathetic, right? I'm sure whatever you have to say to me means nothing at all. So get your sister to talk to me right now, or I swear I'll...
And why should I have to listen to what a criminal wants? I'll make sure to have our lawyer get in touch with you soon, so you can have the much more serious talk with them. And if you're still talking like that, then good luck getting out of this mess you've created.
What? What the? You guys have a lawyer now?
Well, of course. Eliana needs to make sure she has someone to support her when asking for a settlement from you. And I'll have you know this right now. My sister is not changing her mind on what she wants from you. So I would highly recommend you and your family start working together with a lawyer if you hope to have any chance of lessening your punishments.
Wait, just a second. Why are you talking about something like that right now? A lawyer? A settlement? All of that is the kind of stuff you only hear about in dramas.
Well, unfortunately, right now we're dealing with a lot of drama, so this has to happen. What you did to my sister was all crimes, and some of those could have very well been considered life-threatening crimes. I think she has every right to have you all pay her a settlement for the damages and ask that the judge sentence you to some time. I'm hoping that she gets away with pulling a massive settlement from you before you go.
I'm not taking this from my daughter-in-law. I won't let her take anything from me or send me to prison. And having to pay for a lawyer would be a complete waste of our money. Eliana doesn't even have the money left either, so how is she paying for a lawyer in the first place?
If that's what concerns you, just know that my family is paying for her lawyer.
What?
My husband happens to be a lawyer himself, so he was able to find someone in his firm that could help us at a reduced cost. Actually, the man he's found for Eliana is one of the best lawyers in the city when it comes to things like domestic harassment and assault.
Your husband is a lawyer?
Yes, which means he is friends with a lot of the police force and has friends who are detectives as well. He's already gotten in touch with one of his detective friends, and they have begun to investigate your family to make sure they have accounts of all the things you've done. We already assumed we'd find lots of things like assault and harassment within your family, based off what Eliana told us. But who knew you guys were also known for theft and scamming? Seems you guys have been on the run from all that too.
You guys were able to find out about all of that as well?
Of course. But you guys were able to run away before the police or anyone could find you. Until now. So don't be surprised when the police begin to ask about that later as well. And the judge, of course. We've already told the police about it with the evidence we found, so it's only a matter of time before they come to your house. Be prepared to be taken into their custody soon.
Wait a second, please. You're only causing my head to spin more and more by saying that. So, can we please discuss this in...
We are not discussing anything with you anymore. We don't want to be in close proximity to those that not only assault and harass, but rob and scam people as well. It's time for you to be judged for your crimes, right? And once you've had to pay my sister for everything you've done to her, I believe you and your family will be losing everything. Normally, that would leave you on the streets with nothing at all. But luckily, you'll be in prison after paying, so you will still be fed and housed.
If that happens to me, I won't have a life after getting out. I don't care what all we did. You shouldn't be wanting to send us to jail, right? Do something to stop those police. If you let us all fall, then we'll never be able to get back up.
After all those years of hurting my sister under your oppression, what makes you think I'm listening to you now? This is what you deserve for your crimes. So take it on the chin like a man and stop being such a problem for everyone. You're nothing more than monsters. I won't let you do any of that crap to anyone ever again. Are you alright, Eliana? I'm glad to hear that your fever has gone down some, but if you want to eat something, please let me know. I can make you something up right now or order something. If you want some ice cream or some jelly, let me know, please.
Thank you, Kate. I'm sorry for leaving everything up to you in the end like that after passing out. I really am so weak.
What are you saying, Eliana? Your body is so beat up right now that I'd want you going to a hospital if I could have my way. When this is all over with, we're taking you to see a doctor, okay? We need to make sure there isn't something worse going on inside you, and that it will all heal with rest and time.
I'm sorry that this has all had to happen right after your wedding.
Stop apologizing to me for everything, okay? Also, this is me paying you back.
What?
The one who had always been protecting me from mom and dad back in the day was you. You also handled things like my college fees and telling mom and dad off when they came looking for me. I know that you've pretty much been doing everything to take care of me.
You knew about all of that?
I'm your little sister, aren't I? Of course I'd find out who was taking care of me like that when it's my own sister. I want to say, you have been working so hard all your life for other people besides yourself. So, from here on out, let me care for you. I'm not your little sister hiding behind your back anymore.
That's very true. I can't believe you grew up so fast without me ever noticing. I'm so happy.
Come on now! Stop talking like you're my mother or something.
I'm sorry. Someday I'm going to have to thank you properly for all of this.
And I'm telling you, you don't have to. All I ask is that you focus on getting better again. You have put up a fight for long enough now, and it's your time to relax. So, from now on, if you're starting to feel unwell or sick, let me know and I'll be there for you. When you passed out like that, I was freaking out.
Sorry about that. I didn't think that I'd be making all of you worry about me like that. I've always been so used to having to care for myself on my own, so when I saw all of you worrying about me, I had no idea what to do.
I'm sure you are still thinking about everything you'll have to do after today. But look, think of the time you have right now as rehabilitation. You don't have to overwork or anything, just as long as you take the time to feel better again.
That's true, actually. I'll think of things like that then.
See? I want you to start right now learning how to relax and let others do things for you. Actually, I want you to tell me right now how you feel about me. You've never said anything about how you think of me before, right? So, give it a try right now.
Now that you mention it, I don't think I've ever spoken out about anyone. Saying this right now is going to be a bit embarrassing. But if I don't say anything, you'll never know, right? So I'll say it. Thank you so much, and I love you a ton, Kate. In the end, everyone in Iris's family was arrested by the police and taken to jail where they all awaited their court hearings. There, I was able to get a settlement from both Iris herself and my ex-husband, which ended up being for more than they had combined in their bank accounts. Iris was also charged with multiple accounts of assault and 2 charges of attempted murder, while the whole family was charged with things like robbery, grand theft auto, and fraud. And just like I had told Iris, they all would end up going to prison to do some time, which is actually lucky for them considering they had to sell their house in order to pay those settlements off, so better there than nowhere at all. I think that my ex and his dad would be getting around 5 years in total, while Iris got 15 years, which at her age is pretty much a wrap. I can definitely say one thing, though, and that's that she will never be hurting anyone again, and I'm sure the same can be said for my ex, too. My sister was very happy with the end results, and I think her whole family was cheering when that trial and everything was over and finished in my favor. When that was all done, we went out for dinner at a 5-star hotel outside of town, where I got to have my first ever course dinner and have food cooked for me for once. I told everyone that since I'd be getting a lot of money from Iris and them, I'd pay for everyone's dinner. But the moment I brought that up to the family, every single person said no to me in unison, which just goes to show I'm in good hands now. As for myself, I was originally thinking that after my body had healed up and I got most of my sight back in my right eye, I'd leave my sister's family's house. But none of them wanted me leaving their house just yet, and instead chose to have me hired as their part-time housemaid. I am having to do a lot of the chores and cooking I was doing before. However, this time I was being paid to do them, while also being thanked and not having to worry about being hurt in any way. My body still has a ways to go in terms of healing, as my face is still getting some work done on it through grafting and having the wraps replaced. However, the doctor did say that in a few more weeks I could keep them off and start taking showers and things like that again. I also ended up going to see a doctor for a full body exam a week after everything was settled, and there I learned that I had broken one of my ribs at one point, but it was all healed up now and not worth worrying about. I was also told to start taking large amounts of vitamin D since it had been a long time since I last went into the sun and was starting to feel that for sure. All in all, though, my body did end up healing itself together pretty well. And the doctors told me that within a couple of months, I should be feeling 100%, as long as I kept on getting the sleep I needed and resting a lot. Right now, I think I'm feeling the happiest I've ever felt, and it only took me close to 30 years. Unbelievable. You're actually alive? I mean, really? It's almost like a plot twist out of some twisted soap opera. I heard the rumors about you, but I thought they were exaggerated or perhaps even fictional. I couldn't believe that someone like you, with everything that happened, would still be around. You know, it's almost comedic how you've managed to stay afloat despite everything. It's like watching a poorly scripted reality show where the protagonist just refuses to be written out. Are you seriously getting by on this country's dime? It's almost like a punchline and a cruel joke. I was genuinely scared at one point, thinking you might have stumbled upon something that you weren't supposed to see, something that would unravel everything. You know how secrets can be. They have a way of biting back when you least expect it. Who would have thought? The so-called worthless stepmother who married dad just for his money is still kicking. It's like watching an underdog story, but without the charm. Long time no see, Gracie. It's been ages, hasn't it? Time really flies, doesn't it? Feels like a lifetime has passed since our last encounter. I still remember the last time we met. It was filled with tension and unresolved issues. How have you been managing all these years? From the way you're talking, it seems like you're as lively as ever. I have to hand it to you for maintaining that spirit. It's almost admirable in a strange way. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I am still very much alive and kicking. And if you can believe it, I might actually be in an even better place now, thanks to all the mess you and your father created. It's almost poetic how things turned out, that sometimes chaos can lead to unexpected success. It's like the universe decided to give me a second chance, and I seized it with both hands. Hilarious. You actually took the time to respond? No, I wasn't expecting that. I figured you'd have more important things to do, or maybe not even be around. So you really are alive. It's almost like a plot twist in a drama. Good for you. It's interesting how this country shows such kindness to the weak. Even people like you, who seem to be nothing more than brainless trash, get to live off welfare. Isn't it ironic how the system works? It's like the more you're down on your luck, the more the system seems to prop you up. It's a system that rewards dependence rather than initiative. But then again, the world has always had its fair share of ironies. Isn't that a bit harsh? Well, it's true I've received some support from the country in the past, but I don't think it's fair to label me like that. I did what I had to do to get by. I didn't ask for sympathy or charity, I just made use of the resources available to me. The system may be flawed, but I've done my best to navigate it responsibly. It's not about taking advantage, it's about surviving and making the most of what's available. It's people like you who are dragging this country's economy into the ground, living comfortably on welfare without actually contributing anything. Meanwhile, honest working people are struggling with high taxes and living in poverty. You welfare recipients are nothing but a burden on this country. You think it's fair to generalize like that? Not everyone who gets support is living a life of luxury. Many people, and myself included, use that support as a stepping stone to something greater. It's not about being a burden, it's about finding a way to thrive despite the circumstances. Huh? What do you mean by that? What are you talking about? Don't play dumb. I know all about it. You're on welfare now, aren't you? It's quite the joke. It's almost like you're living a lie, pretending to be something you're not. Get a job at your age. This country doesn't have money to support lazy people who just want to slack off. You have no idea what it's like to work hard for something. I have seen people in much worse situations pull themselves up, so don't act like it's impossible. Seriously, what's wrong with this country? A system that's so kind to people like you while making hard-working people suffer? There is something fundamentally wrong with that. It's frustrating, I get it. But the problem isn't just with the people on welfare, it's with the system itself. It's a broken system that needs fixing. Instead of blaming individuals, maybe we should focus on reforming the system to better support those who truly need it while ensuring it doesn't encourage dependency. I have no idea what you're talking about. You seem to be misunderstanding something. But as for this talk about welfare, are you referring to your father? Huh? What are you saying? You're the one on welfare, right? I heard everything about how your father got fed up with you not working and ended up abandoning you. The story you've heard is incomplete and biased. There's more to it than what you've been told. I'm the one who got fed up with your father and initiated the divorce. In fact, I'm currently thinking of buying 4 high-rise apartment buildings. I've turned my life around and am now in a position where I can make significant investments. What? No. I won't believe such an outrageous lie. If you're going to lie, can't you come up with something more believable? You're quite the storyteller. It's not a lie. It's the truth, even if it sounds unbelievable. I've worked hard to get where I am today. Anyway, I don't need you to believe me at this point, so you can think whatever you like. I don't know what your beloved papa's been telling you, and I have no interest in interfering. I'll just say this, you're mistaken about me. That's all I have to say. If you choose not to believe it, that's your prerogative, but it doesn't change the facts of my situation. Wait, are you serious? Aren't you the one on welfare? And didn't Papa abandon you because you wouldn't work despite being healthy and now you're living on welfare? I'm telling you, that's not the case. Even if your papa was a great wealthy man, I don't want to entrust my life to others. I chose to work for myself. It's a matter of pride and self-reliance. I've built something from nothing and I'm proud of what I've accomplished. I don't know if it's jealousy or what, but when you pushed me down and caused me to break a bone, there was indeed a time where I couldn't move. There were times when I felt deeply depressed, but I still managed to pull myself together, start a new company, and contribute to society properly. It was a tough period, but I used it as a catalyst for change. Huh? This is different from what I heard. You're living comfortably on government money? Sure, I received some subsidies when starting my business, but that was based on my own funds. I submitted proper business plans and started the business and received support to accelerate it. It was a strategic move to get things off the ground. Now, the business is running smoothly, and I'm paying far more in taxes than the amount of subsidies I received. I'm contributing positively to the economy, not draining it. It's a turnaround story that shows what can be achieved with determination and hard work. What? The scale of this conversation is too big for me to follow. Wait, you're saying you own a company? Is that where you're starting from? I'm telling you that's the case. I'd been operating on a small scale before, but now I've started a new company and it's going well. It's been a journey of growth and adaptation. So, is it true that you own 4 high-rise apartment buildings? Why would I tell such a useless lie? What would be the point? It's not a lie, it's a reality. I've invested wisely and managed to acquire several properties. It's a testament to my success and hard work. And as I said earlier, I don't need you to believe me, so I'm just telling you the facts. My achievements are my own, and I don't need validation from anyone. When you say high-rise apartments, they're not that impressive, right? Tell me which high-rise apartments. I wonder what you consider not impressive. For example, that the new high-rise apartment in front of the station is one of the properties I own. It's quite a prime location. There's also another in the heart of the city, which is known for its luxury amenities. Wait, are you serious? Well, that's just one example. I own several others across different areas. It's not just about owning properties, it's about creating value and contributing to the community. So I'm not as financially troubled as you might think. And I'm not living dependent on the country or a husband. I've made my own way and built a successful business from the ground up. It's been a rewarding experience, and I've gained a lot from it. I don't know what your father's been telling you, but the one who can't live without relying on the country is your father. It's clear he's struggling, especially if he's been making such claims about me. He might be projecting his own issues onto me. Is that so? But Papa said he divorced you right away. I heard you were a worthless person who wouldn't work properly. What are you talking about? The one who doesn't work is that man. Even when I tried to assign him work, he wouldn't do it properly. He was a drain on my resources. And when I broke a bone, he blamed me for the work not getting done. Moreover, even though you caused that fracture by harming me, he blamed me for not taking care of my health daily. It was a complete nightmare. I got fed up and divorced him. It was a decision made out of necessity, not convenience. Huh? This is completely different from what I heard. Papa's on welfare, but I just started university. How does Papa intend to pay for it? How should I know? Discuss that with your beloved Papa. You're the one who cut ties with me, right? I'm no longer involved in that part of your life. Besides, I've already divorced your Papa, so I have nothing to do with you guys anymore. Whatever happens to you from now on is none of my business. I'm focused on my own life and my own success. So let me say this again. Don't ever get involved with me again. I'm sure Papa has a plan. He wouldn't tell such lies. Would he? Being on welfare means he probably doesn't have savings and isn't earning much money, so I wonder if he has enough money for you to attend university. It's ironic how the roles have reversed. He's the one who's struggling, while I've managed to thrive despite the odds. No way! Surely you'll help me if something happens! What an incredible turnaround. You broke my bone, and now you're saying surely? I have absolutely no reason to take your side. It's a turn of events that even I didn't anticipate. That's because I didn't know. An old hag like you marrying Papa at that age. I thought there was no benefit other than swindling money from Papa. It's understandable to think that way based on what you knew, but it's more complicated than that. I just played a little prank. A little prank that breaks someone's bone is pretty serious. Maybe you should reflect on your actions. It wasn't just a prank, it was a severe action with long-lasting consequences. You're messed up as a person, so you might want to use this opportunity to fix that personality of yours. Self-improvement is a continuous process, and I've worked hard to better myself. But I can't. Well, it's none of my business, so do whatever you want. Don't say that. If that's the case, you can marry Papa. Remarry him, then you can live happily with Papa again. Everyone's happy, isn't that great? What happy remarriage? That man, after marrying him, his personality completely changed, and it was terrible. He barely worked, but complained all the time. And when he came home, he just lounged around playing with his smartphone. I was exhausted from work and the fracture, so I asked him to help with housework, but he insisted that housework is women's work and shouldn't be done by men. It was a constant battle. I had to manage everything on my own. It was a losing battle. Well, that's why I left the house early. It was clear that staying would only lead to more frustration and resentment.
I see. At first I heard that you left to be considerate of us, but it was because you'd be made to do everything if you stayed at home.
You're paying the rent with your part-time job, right? Why don't you earn and pay for your tuition, too? It's the reality of being independent. Life requires us to take responsibility for our choices and to find ways to support ourselves.
But Papa said he won't pay the rent. He said since I want to move out on my own, I should pay for it myself.
Yes, that's right. It's a harsh reality, but it's part of growing up and becoming self-reliant. You thought I was on welfare anyway, right? So isn't it good that I'm not a burden? It's a twist of fate. Well, goodbye. Life is full of unexpected turns. Sometimes it's better to move on and focus on what truly matters.
Did you really say unnecessary things to Gracie? What exactly do you mean by saying that I'm receiving welfare? This is completely outrageous. I just received a message from her and I'm absolutely shocked. I had no idea you were spreading lies about me receiving welfare.
It was quite by chance that I ran into her again and she decided to reach out to me. I honestly didn't want to be in touch with her, but here we are.
This is completely unacceptable. As a father, I still have my pride. You've completely destroyed the image she had of me as her father because of your actions.
I couldn't care less about what you think of the situation. I didn't say anything out of personal desire. She was mocking me, calling me a welfare recipient, so I simply corrected her and informed her of the truth about you.
But there's definitely a proper way to handle such situations. Why did you specifically drag me into this?
It's because she had a misunderstanding and claimed that I married you for your money. But wasn't it actually you who had that intention in the first place? You entered the marriage with the clear intention of making me take on all the household responsibilities, didn't you?
Well...
And then you just abandoned me, claiming you discarded me. The reality is it was you who was left behind by me.
That's the truth, but...
Even if you're talking about this behind my back, you should ensure that your daughter understands not to involve herself with me regardless of the circumstances. And you should also make sure she knows not to get entangled with me in any way.
Shut up! It's none of your business.
Look at you, running away again. You put on a facade of being a strict father to your daughter while you only want to live comfortably yourself. Well, if your daughter was growing up properly and turning out well, that would be one thing. However, considering that she's developed a twisted personality like yours, there's no hope for her.
Shut up! You abandoned me! You were a useless woman who couldn't balance housework and work. And yet you have the nerve to talk to my daughter about unnecessary matters.
Oh, fine. Just leave it already. This whole situation is too much of a hassle, so please don't contact me again. You handle your own affairs from now on.
And what's this about? 4 high-rise buildings, you say? I wasn't informed of that.
Oh, that. After our divorce, my business took off. I no longer had to waste any more time dealing with you. I was absolutely right to end things with you.
You didn't achieve anything significant until after we separated? So now you're living in a luxury apartment?
That's none of your concern. If you're frustrated, why don't you get out of welfare and start working for yourself? Well, I suppose that's a challenging topic for someone like you who's always glued to their smartphone and doesn't do anything productive. Or is it? Are you envious of me, the woman you once looked down upon? You used to say that a woman's job is to manage household chores and that you were gracious enough to let me work, all while trying to conceal the fact that you didn't have the financial means to support me. You're the one who wanted to work, so that's fine. You thought it was okay to marry me because I was unemployed, right? Having a free housekeeper at home must have been ideal for you.
But when I decided to end our relationship, your pride got in the way of even attempting to keep me.
That's not true. I didn't need you, and that's the simple truth.
To be honest, I didn't care whether you were receiving welfare or not. But it turns out you really were. I had my suspicions, but I didn't expect it to be so accurate.
What did you say? Did you say that without knowing the full situation?
How could I know? I'm not interested in you. You were the one who lied and labeled me as a welfare recipient, so it's only fair that I retaliate, don't you think?
You actually did it?
Well, considering you lie so easily, I had a suspicion it might reflect on yourself. But I'm not surprised.
You. How dare you?
All right. If you have time to spout unnecessary nonsense and hold grudges, why not try doing something more constructive? You're only sending pointless messages like this because you're on welfare and have too much free time. At least do something beneficial for society and others. Oh, and if I borrow your daughter's words, maybe you should work at your age. That's it.
She said such things. Looking down on me?
Are you referring to me or to welfare recipients in general? If there's a legitimate reason for receiving welfare and you live modestly, it's different. But seeing recipients who don't work, eat well, sleep in comfortable places, buy good things, and live luxuriously while spewing hateful words makes me question the country's policies. So if you have the luxury to make others feel bad, then make sure you're working properly. How long do you plan to be a burden on society?
You just say whatever you want. You don't know anything about me.
Those who don't make an effort are the ones who speak like that, acting like a tragic heroine despite knowing nothing. Those who understand effort and hardship would not speak so arrogantly.
That's enough. Never get involved with me again.
That's what I've been saying repeatedly. Every time this conversation comes up, it's the same old story. We've been through this before, and it's clear that nothing is going to change. If you continue to behave this way, it's only going to cause more problems. I've made my position clear, and I expect you to respect that. I want to move forward and not dwell on the past, so please, just let it go. I don't want to deal with any more of your nonsense or the drama it brings. It's time for both of us to focus on our own lives and stop dragging each other into unnecessary conflicts. Let's just end this here. I've already made it clear that I don't want any further contact. If you continue to reach out, it will only complicate things further. So for the sake of both of us, let's part ways and move on. I hope you understand and respect my wishes.
Wait a minute. Let's clarify everything. You're saying I lied about you being on welfare, but why should I believe anything you say? I'm still trying to understand your position. From what I heard, it seemed like you were the one who was relying on government aid. Is that not the case? Because if you really have a stable income and property, it's a huge discrepancy from what was originally conveyed. Are you really living in those high-rise apartments?
Yes, I am. After our separation, I was able to focus on building my business. Without you around, I found the freedom to really succeed. If you're genuinely surprised, maybe you should look into the full situation before making assumptions. I have worked hard to get where I am, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. So if you've heard otherwise, it's time to get the facts straight. I wasn't just sitting around, I actively sought out support to get my business off the ground. It's clear that I was right to leave the relationship, considering the kind of environment I was dealing with. The past was filled with challenges, but now I'm on a path where I'm making significant contributions. That's the reality you need to face. Don't be fooled by appearances or misconceptions. Understand that there's a lot more to my story than what you may have heard. I've built something substantial, but it's not right to judge without knowing the whole picture. Focus on your own life and let me focus on mine. There's no room for miscommunications or misunderstandings. So please, let's end this chapter and move forward with clarity. Thank you for understanding. What are you doing? I just got a call from the security at the Tower Apartments. They said you were caught trying to break in and had to be restrained? Are you out of your mind? But Papa freaked out on me. He said he's not going to pay for my university tuition anymore. What was I supposed to do? You're the only person I have left to rely on. And that made you think the best idea was to storm the Tower Apartments? Do you even think before acting? Well, you wouldn't answer my calls. I tried calling you over and over, and when you didn't pick up, I thought maybe if I came in person, you'd have no choice but to help me. And you thought breaking into a place I don't even live at anymore was a good plan? Oh, you're unbelievable. Newsflash, I don't live there. What? You're not living in the Tower Apartments? But I thought you said... I own the apartments. I don't live there. I've been living overseas for quite a while now. So no, storming the Tower Apartments wasn't going to get you anywhere except in trouble with the residents. It's their home, not mine. I didn't know that. I thought you were still living there. Maybe if you thought things through instead of acting on impulse, you wouldn't end up in these messes. And for the record, do you know what time it is when you were bombarding me with calls? It was the middle of the night where I am. My phone was on Do Not Disturb. I wasn't going to answer your barrage of calls at that hour. I didn't think about the time difference.
Even if it wasn't in the middle of the night, do you honestly think I'd pick up after everything that's happened? What exactly did you think would happen? You've done nothing but treat me like dirt. So yeah, I'm not going to answer your calls, especially since you only ever reach out when you need something. Please, I'm begging you. You're my last hope. If you don't help me, I won't be able to go to university. Papa's already made up his mind. I've told you before, I don't care. I'm not responsible for you, nor do I owe you anything. We're strangers now, remember? You're the one who decided to cut ties with me. You made it very clear you wanted nothing to do with me. But I'm willing to take it all back. I take back everything I said and did. We can start over, please. Even if you take it all back, what do I gain? Absolutely nothing. Don't forget, you're still your father's daughter, and that's a fact I can't change. I pity you because of that, but that doesn't mean I'm going to swoop in and rescue you. You thought I was weak, worthless even. You literally broke my bone once just to put me in my place, remember? Why would I help someone like that? I was young. I didn't understand what I was doing. Please, I'm sorry. Just help me this one time. You think your apology erases the damage? That the pain, both physical and emotional, just goes away? I don't think so. You're a grown adult now. It's time to face the consequences of your actions. You need to understand that I don't owe you anything. After what you did, I wouldn't help you even if I could. I was wrong. I realize that now. Please, if you could just find it in your heart to forgive me and help me out of this situation. Forgive you? Help you? After all the cruelty and abuse? You really think a few words of desperation are going to change anything? Let me be clear. You're on your own. Maybe it's time you learned what it's like to hit rock bottom. Maybe it's time for you to experience the same despair and hopelessness that you inflicted on me. Consider it karma. Don't say that, please. I'll do anything. I've learned my lesson. I'm so scared. I don't know what to do. I can't go to university. My whole future is ruined. Your future is ruined because of your own actions. You made these choices, and now you have to live with the consequences. You thought it was funny to hurt me, to belittle me, and now you expect me to rescue you from the mess you created. No, that's not how the world works. But I can't. I don't know how to fix this. Papa's lost it and won't help me anymore, and I don't know where else to turn. You're my only option. Please, I am begging you. Your father's issues are his own. I have nothing to do with his decisions anymore.
You have to work this out with him, not me. I don't want to hear any more about it. If he's not willing to support you, then maybe it's time you started supporting yourself. Get a job. Pay for your own tuition if you're so desperate to go to university. That's what most people do.
I've been trying, but I can't make enough. Rent, tuition, bills, it's all too much. Please just loan me some money or let me stay at one of your apartments for a while until I get back on my feet. I promise I'll pay you back.
Loan you money? Let you stay at one of my properties? After everything, you still don't get it, do you? I am not your safety net. I don't owe you a place to stay or a handout. You've burned those bridges. You'll have to figure this out on your own, just like I had to figure out my life after all the harm you and your father caused me.
I can't believe you're saying this. I thought deep down you still cared. You were my stepmother. We were family once. Doesn't that mean anything to you?
Family? You stopped seeing me as family the moment you decided to break my bones and try to ruin my life. You and your father never treated me like family, so don't expect me to act like family now. I moved on. I built a life without you two, and I'm doing just fine. It's time you learn to stand on your own 2 feet.
Please!
It's over. This conversation is over. You made your choices, now live with them. Goodbye. Gracie's behavior spiraled out of control during the confrontation. When the police arrived to address the situation, she became aggressive and resorted to violence, which only made things worse. Her outburst led to her immediate arrest for obstructing the police in the course of their duties, a charge that carries serious consequences. The scene was chaotic, with her being forcefully taken away, leaving onlookers in shock. What followed was the rapid unraveling of her life. News of her arrest quickly reached her university, which wasted no time in responding. Given the severity of the incident, they made the decision to expel her, effectively ending her academic journey. She had hoped that her education would lead her to a brighter future, but now that future was slipping out of reach. With no degree and no financial support, she found herself in an unexpected position, struggling just to make ends meet. With no other options, Gracie was forced to take up part-time jobs to cover her basic living expenses. The dream of higher education, which had once seemed like a gateway to success, had evaporated in a matter of moments. She now spends her days working long hours in jobs that barely sustain her, far removed from the student life she had once enjoyed. Reflecting on Gracie's situation, I couldn't help but realize the truth of the saying, "What goes around comes around." The way she treated others and the reckless decisions she made finally caught up with her. It's a reminder that our daily actions, whether good or bad, eventually circle back to us. For Gracie, her behavior and choices led to her downfall, showing just how quickly life can change when we don't consider the consequences of our actions.
Hey, I just got a call a few minutes ago. Did I hear them correctly when they said you fell down the stairs and ended up with multiple broken bones?
You heard them correctly. Right now, I'm in a really bad shape, and my whole body is in horrible pain. I'd really love it if you could bring some things from home to the hospital while I'm here.
I never thought you'd end up all screwed up like that. How embarrassing for you and me now.
Huh?
I'm sure the reason you fell down those stairs is because, like every time, you were dozing off while walking and didn't even see the steps in front of you. And because of you daydreaming like that, you fell down those stairs and hurt yourself. I'm sure that doctor was lying to me when he said that you're badly hurt and have all those breaks. No way that could happen to someone by falling down a couple steps. Are you not embarrassed by how this all happened to you?
Wait, why would I be embarrassed by what's happened to me? This has nothing to do with me dozing off and falling because of that. Are you not even worried about the condition I'm in right now?
Worried? What should I be worried about right now? You should be able to get right back to work after this, right?
I'm not asking you to be worried about me getting back to work or not. I'm asking if you're worried about the fact that I just broke a ton of my bones and will need surgery to fix a few of them. Don't you think you could be a little bit more considerate of my condition at the moment? It's going to take me around 2 months at the very least to get through most of my recovery here. And so there's no way that before the end of those 2 months, I'll be back to work.
What? So you're telling me you won't be going back to the office for a whole 2 months now? My God. You are the least helpful person ever, Mike. I feel so bad for the people that are going to still have to hand you some form of pay while you're out of work.
Can you please not say things like that to me now? I didn't end up this way because I wanted to be injured or anything. I'm not that kind of person, and I really want you to understand that what's happened to me was an accident. So please start talking about what's happened to me in a lighter tone. At this time, I'm in a tough place mentally, and hearing you speak horribly of me makes me come even closer to breaking down.
I'm not sure what you're going on about. I hope that after this accident, you learn just how useless you really are. To not only the company that you work for, but also to your family back at home. I knew for a long time now that you've been a waste of the company's payroll, but aren't you embarrassed by the fact that you won't be back to work for a whole 2 months now? You need to see just how much of a fool you look like right now. I swear to God, you are such an idiot.
Not even my boss talks to me like that about my position within the company, Angela. I never expected someone like you to talk to me in that way, actually.
Wait a second. Do you not even plan to come back home for the next 2 months then?
I have to be very relaxed while I'm going through my recovery phase. And so the plan was to keep me in the hospital for 2 months while healing from the surgery. And also while having myself tied up in the bed here.
My God, then what's going to be done about all the housework at home? Are you expecting that I do all the cleaning and laundry here for the next 2 frickin' months? There is no way that's happening, Mike. Just because you're useless and can't help our family doesn't mean that I need to pick up the slack and do all the work now.
Are you kidding me? You don't even have a job right now, Angela? You said to me that the trade-off for leaving your job is that you'd take care of all the cleaning and chores like that while I work. So I think it's totally fair that you have to do all those things for a few months while I'm here recovering. I can't come home right now as I'm not able to move out of this bed. And so can you please be the one to do all the chores? Besides, I won't be around the house much for a bit, so you won't even have to clean things as often as we normally have been.
Jesus, that is going to be a total pain in my butt, you know. Ugh. It's because I have to hold on to a useless husband like you that my whole life has been nothing but frickin' miserable. I hate this. Why do you think I'd ever want to give up my free time to do all the chores in the house? I don't care that you broke some bones, Mike.
Are you really saying this all to me right now? I'm telling you that I never planned on breaking a lot of my bones and becoming immobilized like this. Right now, I feel the same way you do. Miserable.
Well, I don't give a crap about you being miserable right now. You're the only one to blame for falling down those stairs, and so you don't get the right to sit there and feel sad for yourself. Right now, you've caused a whole lot of trouble for all those around you. You should be telling every single person that you've affected that you're sorry for being alive still and having to put more weight onto their shoulders.
Angela, you should know that you're being a little too overwhelming right now. For the time, just be aware that I'll be staying at the hospital in the center of town. I ask that you please stop by sometime soon and drop off some things for me. Books, games, anything that will keep me entertained while I'm laid up in bed for 2 months.
Huh? You actually expect me to go there and see you now?
Huh?
Why don't you ask your mom to bring some things for you? That lady is always free, right?
Please do not act that way towards me, Angela. It is not appropriate right now. And as for my mom, she's not going to be able to come to this hospital as easily as you can. She would also have to drive over to our house to get my things, and then drive another direction to get here. That's too much to ask from her. With you, all you have to do is drive 30 minutes to the hospital and hand me some things. Is that too much to ask?
I have a lot of things keeping me busy. Unlike you and your mom, I don't have the time to be running things back and forth from this house to you.
Are you kidding? So you're really not going to bring me anything? Let alone come and see me here?
Ask someone else to come and visit you with all your things. I don't have time for such tedious things as that. Now, I am a busy woman, and I have to get back to my life. Make sure to stop trying to text or call me now, okay?
I need all the quiet time I can get right now to start thinking about just how useless of a husband you are and what I'm going to have to do about you.
What are you saying, Angela? Do you really not want to listen to what the man you married has to say? I'm serious, Angela. Why are you acting this cold to me now? Angela, today I'm getting out of this hospital. You really didn't even come one time to see me there while I was recovering, did you? Not even after the surgeries I ended up going through. I'm finally going to be coming back home now, but are you even still there? I have something very serious that I'd like to talk to you about, so it'd help to do it in person.
I made sure to fill out most of the divorce paperwork and leave it on the table for you when you get back.
What?
Your daughter and wife have moved out of that house now. I have no use for a husband that cannot work anymore, and so I want the two of us to part ways for good.
You have not even showed me an ounce of care after my accident. And now this? Well, thank God I got used to never seeing you for the past 2 months. And are you serious about having filled out divorce paperwork for us? And also about already have moved out of the house with our daughter?
I'm telling the truth, Mike. And why wouldn't I have done all of this? You were a huge thorn in my side even before you fell down those stairs, but after that, I couldn't imagine another day where you were my husband. I don't need myself a man who's just going to sit in the hospital for 2 months and tell his family to handle all the housework while he's gone. Your daughter and I are out of that house now, so go ahead and hand in that paperwork for me, please.
For crying out loud, thank you!
Now you're going to try and hide your true feelings?
No, I'm actually really thankful. I can never be happier than I am now. I'll make sure to stroll over to the city office today and hand him all those papers with a huge smile on my face. I will finally be back to the life I had before, freed from my chains.
Huh? What's up with you now? Why are you acting all joyful to hear this from me? I understand that you're probably just trying to act all tough and hide your emotions, but come on now, Mike. You're sounding like a madman now. I know for a fact that deep inside you are crying for me to come back to you.
To tell you the truth, that whole time I sat in the hospital recovering, you nor my daughter ever came to see me, and that gave me a chance to really think about the life I had with you both. So now that you're saying that you're both leaving me, I feel like that nothing's actually changed for me. If anything, I was a bit worried to come back home to you both being there, so this had lifted that fear off my back. I was a bit depressed thinking that I'd be going back to two people who don't even care about me, and would rather see me waste my life working away in order to keep them fed and under a roof.
Depressed? Why would someone like you be depressed by that when you're only just good enough to make money for us here?
Tell me, Angela, who's the actual person here that's useless and a waste?
Excuse me?
You promised me that after you quit your job a long time ago, that you'd become a housewife and get all the chores and cooking done, but that never turned out to be the case with you. Instead, both you and Sid would just sit around all day. And the moment I got home from work, would start going off on me saying that I need to get everything in the house done. Did you know that the reason for me falling down those stairs wasn't due to me dozing off at work? It was due to the fact that I was so exhausted from having to do so much at home for you two that I passed out the moment I got to the office and stumbled down 3 flights of stairs. Yet you never wanted to listen to the real reason for all of that.
You can say whatever you want to say about why you fell down those stairs, but I will not allow you to blame me for your incompetence.
I remember how you'd also go off on me about how my job didn't pay enough, and that it was because I sucked at it and needed to try harder. You'd also tell me to start working overtime so that I could make more for the family. But when I'd receive that in my next paycheck, you'd tell me it's not enough and that there's no reason for me to be staying late at work. It was always one thing or another with you, and no matter how hard I tried to make you happy, you never seemed to care. I even remember those days I'd stay late to make extra money, and when I got home, you'd ask me where dinner was and why I hadn't started making it yet. And not just that, but then follow that up by yelling at me for not having any of the chores done yet. I'm being honest when I say that I was at my limit. And so having you tell me that you want a divorce now, is the best news that I've received in such a long time.
I can see that you keep blaming that all on me, but you know it's actually because you're a waste, right?
Say whatever makes you happy, Angela. I'm going to divorce you now, and I'd rather not listen to you complain about me anymore. I'll finally be free, so don't expect me to back down now.
You're free now? You have neither a job nor any money anymore, so what freedom will you possibly have? You're never going to be free now because you have no money to spend. You are a waste to this world, and that's why you've been thrown away by both your daughter and your wife.
I've been thrown away. You really view it that way?
Excuse me?
I'm sure that the only ones who will be in trouble after throwing me away will be the two of you. But, well, whatever life you have after this, do your best with it. I'm going to have that divorce paperwork handed in by the end of the day, so go ahead and live your lives however you like.
You don't have to tell me that, Mike. And as for you, good luck getting through the hell you've been gifted. And of course, you and I won't be family anymore, so don't come crawling back to us crying for our help. There wouldn't be anything in helping you for us anyway, since you have no money now.
I see. Well, whatever you think of me doesn't matter anymore. Just be glad that I'm not going to try and get any sort of revenge on you two after what you've done to me. I am being very clear with you that I am the happiest I felt in a long time. Thank you so much for leaving my house for me.
Is that so? It's disturbing to hear you say you're happy after something like this, but oh well. Goodbye forever, you frickin' loser.
There is one thing I forgot to mention to you, though. I know every little thing about how you've been cheating on me with another man.
Huh? Cheating on you? What do you mean? Have you gone completely off the deep end now? Because what you're saying to me makes 0 sense.
I'm sure it makes a bit more than 0 sense to you. Did you think you could keep all your activities with him hidden from someone like me? I know for a fact that you've been with that other guy for a very long time now. And, as a cherry on top, I have evidence of it all.
What are you talking about? Are you just trying to make things up now so that you feel better about being divorced?
Why would I be making something like this up with you? As of right now, I'm not the one losing this battle we have between us. If that's what you want to make all of this, then go ahead and do so. But I think that I'm anything but the loser right now. And that's because I'm not going to lose.
You're just trying to make me get all worked up now, aren't you? There's no way you'd ever figure out something like that when you've been cooped up in that hospital for the past 2 months.
Don't get so carried away with thoughts like that. I told you that I don't have any intention of getting revenge, because I'm actually quite happy with us getting divorced. And tomorrow, I'm going to have all the locks to my house changed, just to be safe. Wouldn't want any chance of you getting back into my house to be there.
Huh? You're going that far? A lot of my things are still in that house, Mike.
I'll make sure to put them all in the trash outside for you, so don't worry about those. You told me that you guys have already left for good, so there's no reason for me to keep your things here, right? If you actually still needed any of this jewelry or clothing, you would have packed them up and took them when leaving as well, right? Allow me to make this crystal clear for you. I do not want you, or Sid, coming back to my house. But be aware that I will be talking with a lawyer about how you've been cheating on me, and I will make sure that there's a settlement that you have to pay me.
Huh? You want me to pay you a settlement? You understand that I don't have a job right now, right?
Oh, I do know that very well, Angela. And not only am I aware of you cheating on me, but I also saw that letter you attached to the divorce papers saying that you want half of all my properties in the divorce. But thinking that you'll be getting anything from me in the divorce is a bit too generous after what you've done. How about instead of acting as though you won this battle against me, you open up your eyes a little bit more and see the reality of your cracking situation? Why should I have to give you anything of mine in this divorce, when it's you who have been without a job for years now and have been cheating on me with another man behind my back? Had you done nothing besides asked for the divorce, you probably could have gotten half my things. But you went as far as cheating on me, right?
I am not cheating on you. Stop trying to paint weird pictures of me in your head, okay?
These are not false accusations that I'm making of you though, Angela. I already have solid evidence of you cheating on me, so it's no use trying to run from me now. It's better that you just embrace the truth now, so that you don't have to overwork yourself trying to live a lie. Anyway, I'm going to have a lawyer with me here soon, so running away is not going to be an option anymore.
Are you seriously getting yourself a lawyer now? Do you really think what's happening between us requires someone like them to be around? This is all supposed to be between us and not have anything to do with strangers. Mike, there is really no reason for you to go that far, right? We have been together for over 20 years now, meaning that there should be no hard feelings after something like this. Have you forgotten how much I loved you all that time?
What are you trying to say to me now?
We've been together for over 20 years. That's a pretty dang long time, and us having to divorce now is something that normally happens to any couple after this long. Let's just continue to be kind to one another and end things between us without creating such a mess.
Why are you trying to backtrack now, saying that you want all of this to end neatly? You were the one that forced me to go day by day with loads of stress in my life, while cheating on me in the background. And while I was in the hospital recovering from multiple broken bones, which I'm still having to deal with by the way, you filled out divorce papers and left the house with my daughter. You've made it pretty clear that you never wanted things to be neat when leaving me. And understand that I'm going to be generous by going through with this divorce, as that's what you've been so desperately wanting, right? But I will make sure that you pay me for all that time of mine you wasted, having a relationship with another man. And as I'm aware, the man you've been going out with secretly doesn't have a ton of money himself, so he might end up throwing you away when he finds out about me and my plans.
You even began to look into him? I have not been going out with him, though. He is just a very close friend of mine.
Oh, he's just a friend now, is he? Well, just to make everyone aware of this, I'll have the evidence of you both sleeping together sent to your parents' house.
What? Why would you send it all to their house? Why?
This is all being done to ensure that you don't lie to your parents about the real reason behind this divorce, and so that they understand the real woman you are. It's insane that you thought after pulling a stunt like that you'd be getting any part of my properties in the divorce. Well, that's really never going to happen for you. And all you'll be getting now is a court notice stating that you owe me money in the divorce. And I'm betting that you're going to have a hard time getting back out there and finding a job for yourself after spending so long being a fake housewife for me.
Why are you talking to me like you're going to come out on top? You're in the same boat as me right now, jerk. You don't have a job anymore yourself, and all your money is tied up paying for your medical bills.
Huh? Why do you think that I'm without a job right now?
You haven't been able to show up to work for the past 2 months, so your boss has fired you by this point, right? That's the whole reason I threw you away. I was not going to stay together with a man who thinks it's okay to just slack off for 2 whole months and not care about his job that made money for all of us.
Well, I was never fired from that job, Angela.
Huh?
I have never been slacking off, and I don't even understand how you got that idea of me in the first place. I told you that I was in a major accident at work, and that it would take me 2 months to recover from it. And that's just the time required for me to heal from the breaks themselves. I'm still going to be going to physical therapy for the next year or so to help me get back to the amount of mobility I had before. But I'm sure you never would have known about my condition or about how I plan to get back to normal since you never came to see me in a hospital.
What do you mean you haven't been fired yet? How the hell could that be?
I was given sick leave for a month and a half so that I could recover in the hospital. But I only used a month of it because after that first month, I got use of my left hand again. And so my boss was kind enough to allow me to work remotely, which I've been doing now for a month and will continue to do so as I stay in physical therapy. Therefore, I have not been fired from my job. I was hurt on the job, so they could never fire me for something like that anyways. I sure think you're a bit screwed in the head though for not ever coming to see me in a hospital, and for the fact that you continue to verbally abuse me for my injuries. But thank God I had been wanting to divorce you as well, so this is a win for both of us. Now, you and your daughter do your best with that man you've been cheating on me with, okay? And don't forget that I plan to take a good amount of your money in this divorce.
Mike, why are you not going to answer your phone? I even came all the way back to your house, but it doesn't even look like you're there anymore. And I can't even get into the house anymore because you changed the dang locks on me. What the hell do you think you're doing trying to play hide and seek with me?
Why are you coming back to talk to me again? And another question, why would I allow a stranger to come into my home without a good reason?
Calling me a stranger now? What is wrong with you, Mike?
Huh? How is that wrong of me?
Right now, I'm in a very bad place and need help. And it's made me see that I actually want to get back together with you again, Mike.
Are you sure you don't feel that way about us now? Because your boyfriend ran away from you after hearing about the amount of money I'd be taking from both of you?
Don't you feel a little bit sorry for me, though? Even Sid has turned a cold shoulder to me and said that she's going to live on her own now. So I have nobody left to love me and call family. I want to go to see my boyfriend and talk this all through with him, but he'd never listen to me now. And as for my parents, well, they're very pissed at me for what I did to you and everyone and told me to never come to their house again. And so I just want to come back to you now and live with you again. It's the easiest option for me at this point in time. So can you please start taking care of me and let me back into your life?
I'm laughing my butt off right now at how naive you're acting. I'm sorry, but it's gonna have to be a fat no from me.
Huh?
I don't have the mental strength anymore to deal with a frickin' idiot any longer in my life, so no. Have you not noticed that the whole reason your life really sucks right now is because of all the things you did to me? It makes no sense for you to come back to the person you hurt and ask for them to let you back into their life. Now, go back to suffering in that hell you've created for yourself, please. I am a complete stranger to you now, so never, ever come around me again. And I'm sorry for being a useless and jobless husband back then. And just as what has been expected, Angela was not able to get any sort of help from anyone she knew, and was left stranded with nowhere to go and nothing to do. I'm guessing that since she still gotta pay off the settlement I asked from her, that she'll be working odd jobs for a long while now, and realize just how cruel life is when you've slacked off for many, many years. I have still stayed in touch with her parents though, as they were really good friends with me, even before we had gotten married and had Sid, and they still tell me that every so often they hear her crying at their front door in near silence, hoping that one day they'll open the door and let her in. But what she doesn't know is that they're planning to have a large fence installed around their house, and so she won't get many more chances to be under the awning of their house. As for Sid, I haven't heard from her again since the day before my accident, and I don't expect to, but she never ended up blocking me on Instagram. So from time to time, I'm able to see her post, and see that she's found a man of her own now to get close with. It seems those two will get married soon, but I'm never going to need to bother with her anyways. It's just good to know that she got away from her crazy mom as well, and is doing alright with someone else now. I bet you that Angela really does regret ever cheating on me and then leaving me the way she did. But as for me, I'm more relaxed now and have a whole new life to live where I could do what I want and not be criticized for it. It'll be a while yet until she's fully paid every penny to me that I've asked for, but I'm in no hurry for the money, as I still have my job